one fun fact before we start. When we're looking at the impact on real GDP and nominal GDP on the budget, nominal GDP growth is actually more important because it's all about using current prices. If we experience higher inflation, which causes our GDP to increase, it's still going to lead to increased budget receipts. So it's actually, and if wages go up, even if it's just nominal wages that go up, it'll still lead to more receipts for the budget. So nominal GDP growth is actually arguably more important for achieving budget surpluses than real GDP growth. But in terms of two policies for living standards, one thing you can talk about is the government has invested $321.4 million to ensure the Australian Federal Police has the capabilities to fight criminals and terrorists, which can boost our non-material living standards. Another key thing related to material living standards is housing affordability. So what the government has done this year is that if you are a low-income earner, what you can do is you can put your money in your superannuation to save for a deposit for a house. So the idea is that first home buyers can put money into superannuation, which then allows them to pay less tax by putting into super than they would on their normal income. So they can save money where they're getting taxed at around 15%, as opposed to getting taxed at their marginal tax brackets, which may be 37% at that point in time. So the idea is that they can put money into super instead of a bank account, save money on tax, and therefore that allows them to save quicker for a house and makes housing more affordable. They've also released more land. In Maribyrnong, for example, they've released 127 hectares. So one of the good things about budgetary policy is we can target both supply and demand when we're looking at housing affordability. They've also made it harder for foreign buyers to purchase foreign investment, which should help to keep property prices down. So the First Home Super Saver Scheme, individuals saving for their first home will be able to make voluntary contributions to superannuation from the start of this financial year. Under the new rule, they can put $15,000 per year, and a total of $30,000 can be put into this special savings account or superannuation account. Both members of a couple can do it, so if you're living with a partner, you can both put money into this special account. You can save taxes, you can pay tax at a lower rate, and therefore save up for a house quicker. Other policies that will help to achieve fiscal consolidation, we've got the HEX contributions, so students will now pay an extra 7.5% towards their HEX. They will also have to start paying their HEX back when they earn over $42,000 as opposed to $57,000 or $58,000, which again will allow the government to collect revenue quicker from people, which will allow us to get back to surplus. The Medicare levy has increased from 2% to 2.5%, which will help the government to collect more revenue to hopefully achieve fiscal consolidation. And the government's also taxing the major banks. So any banks with liabilities above $100 billion will have to pay an extra levy, which is expected to raise around $300 to $400 million for the government. Just be mindful that this levy could hurt economic growth because it acts as a tax for the banks. If they pass on that extra tax in the form of higher interest rates, that could lead to lower discretionary incomes and lead to less spending throughout the economy. Other thing that helps us get back to surplus is that if you're on welfare, the government's going to make it hard for people to get welfare in a way to try and save $632 million. So they're going to inflict harsher penalties for those that don't turn up to appointments, perhaps because they were drunk, and some drug users and alcoholics may have their disability pensions, may be ineligible for disability pensions. They will also start drug testing welfare recipients, and if they don't try and receive treatment, they can also get their welfare cut. Thank you.